start. Okay, so this will be available for review afterwards. I also noticed that I want to welcome Cy from IT is here. He'll be fielding questions as they come in. So if you have any questions as I'm going on, it's hard for me to monitor the chat and do that. So he's here to assist with that. So thank you, Cy. I see that he's away, so I'm sure he'll return shortly. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so today what we're going to cover in the Ultra View is assessment and grading, which will include how to set up an assignment, how to set up tests, how to build a rubric. We'll take a look at gradebook and the different options that you can see there, including kind of a snapshot of how your students are doing, who's responding, who's not. We'll also take a look at how you can provide feedback through the recording feature now, which is really handy as well. So before we do that, and I know some of you, this is probably redundant, we are able to do this because the college has purchased Collaborate, which is now in each of the courses. Whether you're in Ultra View or Original View, your courses have a link to a course room where you're able to hold synchronous sessions with students remotely, just like what we are doing now. So this tool is in all of your courses. It's available to you to set up as you wish. So I just want to go over what these tools look like. So I put up on the screen kind of just little tags so you can see. So in the upper left-hand menu, that's where you can get help, log out. That's actually where I did the session recording as a moderator. If you look to the bottom, you can see on the left-hand side is My Settings. And if you actually click on that, you can see that you can set yourself to away. So if you have to step away, just set yourself away. That way there, we're not waiting for you or things like that. There's also some feedback that you can provide. So you can see you can provide a happy face, a sad face, and etc. Or just a plain old agree and disagree. So if everyone can find that area, if you can give me a happy face, I'll know that you're following along with me. Oh, and Sai just said that if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. Thanks, Sai. All right, I see a few happy faces coming on. Still waiting for a few more. All right. And you'll notice that the happy face stays for a certain amount of time and then it goes away. I don't know what that is. It's 30 seconds or something. But it allows you, if you're working with students or something, if you understand what I'm saying, give me a happy face, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You can also do that in the chat. You can also upload your picture, which I would recommend. It's always best when you at least can see a picture. Obviously, we're not using video today. With your students, you could turn on the video. And that's, so that right next to My Settings is your microphone, and right next to that is your video. And right next to that, you can raise and lower your hand. If students have questions, you can easily do that as well. The other thing I want to mention is that little pull-out panel where the pink tab is. If you open that up, you should be able to have access to the chat where you can type your questions in, so I will happily answer for you. You can also ask for how are people feeling about what I'm talking about. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good and ready to move on? So that's another place that you're able to do that. So if everyone could give me a thumbs up saying that they found the chat room, thumbs up, happy face, whatever. Awesome. Everyone find the chat room? So it's the little pink tab on the lower right-hand side. Pull it out, and that brings out your chat room and also your settings. And if you're the moderator, you're able to share information and slides just like I'm doing there. Awesome. Hey, Karen. And if you see the gear wheel to the right of that, you can check how your speaker volume is, your microphone, your notification settings, and session settings. And if you look at the very top, you should see your name with a little bubble. And if you scroll over to the bubble, you'll see that you can edit that bubble, and that's where you can upload your picture. So if anyone wants to, feel free. They have a quick picture on there. Feel free to add in your picture. It'd be great to see you. Oh, I see Mary Joan. Awesome. She's got her picture up there. Nice job. All right, I'm still getting some thumbs up. Ooh, nice. All right. All right, fantastic. Oh, so now I want to take a look at the annotating tool. So you'll notice I have this slide up, and if you look in the upper towards the left-hand side, you'll see your annotating tools. If everyone just wants to take a minute or two, add some shapes in, write some text, use the pencil, notice you can change the color, and just go ahead and feel free to just try it out. So just take 15, 20 seconds. I'll let everyone try it out. You can also type some text there as well. All right, fantastic. And because I'm the moderator at any time, so if you're doing something with students, you're able to just clear the slide and you can start again. And I can play it again. So the moderator would be able to do that. And you can pass this moderator to your students so that they can interact as well and share files with you and whatnot. All right, everybody ready to go on? Give me an agree. Give me an agree. Remember where that is? All right. We'd be over where your face is. My status and settings. All right. Nice job. Okay, so now we're going to jump. We have a few more slides before we actually will get into the course. So for assessment, these are the tools that are now available in Ultra View. So you can rearrange the grade book. There are timed assessment accommodations, goal alignment, rubrics, for assessments and discussions, safe assign. There's matching questions now, external coursework submissions, the audio and video feedback, which I had mentioned, attendance, graded discussions, and then the conditional availability. So those are some of the things that we'll go ahead and take a look at. I have just a few more screenshots. One is, this is kind of what the attendance area looks like. You're able to set your attendance points. You're able to excuse people from the meeting or from the class time. So we probably won't take a look at this today, but it's something that you should explore, and it is in the grade book. It's pretty self-explanatory. The next area that we'll visit today is in rubrics. We'll take a look at how you can actually create one, or you can also, if you have created it, you can share it amongst your courses. Rubrics really are an efficient means to improve student learning, facilitate communication with students, and enhance, your academic quality. It really is, it provides transparency for students. So I'm a big proponent of rubrics. And hopefully I can show you how to create that in this environment today. There's also conditional availability that you'll be able to set with your students. So they might have to achieve a task first or a certain grade before they're able to move on and do whatever you have provided next in the course. So we'll also take a look at that as well. All right, so now I'm going to see if I can share my screen with you. Okay, so now you should be able to see my screen. Okay. So everyone in the institution has the Ultra navigation turned on. Everyone should be landing on the landing page. And just right now, if you notice, I don't know if you can see my URL, but I'm in the pilot environment because the course was just copied over that I'm using, and it's just not quite right yet. But you, obviously, when you log in now, you're not in the pilot environment, you're actually in the Max environment. So there might be some slight differences, just to let you know. So the institution page, I know that Karen and Sai have really worked hard to make that robust and a good place for you to get all the information that you need. We're going to flip down to courses here. And I'm going to go into my course design. And then this is the course that we'll be utilizing today. So just a quick review under the details and actions. This is where you can see your student or your roster. You can insert your course description. You can easily see that your course is open and that students have access to the course. Here is your collaborate session. So right now I've created a session, and you also have a course room that's available to you at all times. And I guess the difference between a course room and, say, a session that you set up, a session that you set up is timed. Like I have this one from 1 to 1:45, whereas a course room is always open. And it's always open to you and all of your students. So while you might have group work or students might want to just jump on and talk to each other, they can do that if your course room is unlocked. I know if you're teaching, high school, you might want to lock the room because you can't monitor it. Whereas here in the college atmosphere, you could probably leave it open and allow students to connect even while you're not present. Excuse me. Below that is quick access to your attendance, your announcements. And then this here, you'll see conversion exceptions. If you had content that you've asked IT to copy over, this will show you if there's any critical that you need to fix. In other words, you had some assignment and it couldn't pull over something. So you can just kind of check there and see if there's anything that you need to do. And as a reminder, since we're in Ultra View now, along the upper right-hand side, this is your navigation. Your content is here. If I move one over, it's the calendar, then discussions, your grade book, and then messaging or emailing students. Okay, so now I'm going to go into, this is a folder that I've set up, and if I want to add content to that folder, I first need to click on the folder, and then I can go ahead and create from here. So I'm just going to go into, this is an assignment that I really didn't do much with, so I'm just going to click into that right now. And the first thing is it gives it new assignment with the date. So this, you can see, this is where you actually change the name of it. So if you go here, I don't know, you might want to call it, I'm just going to call it assignment 1. And I just going to remove the date. So that's where you customize that. And then after, just hit the return, and that will save it. So here is where you can actually upload all of your content. So you can see I've uploaded a few things. You just hit that plus button. This menu here that I've opened up is the same whether you're creating an assignment or a test. So right now we're in an assignment. So I've added a few local files. But you can also add from cloud storage. So I've got this connected to my Google Drive. So I can just go out to Google Drive and I can attach any document. So that's a fantastic feature. So if you regularly do things in Google Doc, now you can upload it directly into Blackboard. And students can do the same. So if they're submitting an assignment back to you and they use Google Drive, they can easily set up their drive so that it's linked with their Blackboard account as well. So that's a huge feature. So now I'm going to move over to the right where it's assignment and settings. And you can pick through these. You know, if I click on the date, it basically opens up the entire menu, or if I click on the gear wheel, it does the same. So here's the gear wheel, and I get the panel, and I can change my dates. And then you can see all the other tools are there. Or I can click directly into the date, and still all the other categories appear. So I can set my due date, I can allow for class conversations, and what this does, this isn't anything that's graded, it's a conversation within the assignment, so that could be handy if one student has a particular question about how to do this assignment. Typically it's not one, it's like 10 students have that same question. You can reply right back, and then as the student opens this assignment, they'll see the conversation, like, oh yeah, I have that question, so did so-and-so. Oh, and the instructor already answered it. So that's one good way that you could use this. You can randomize answers, collect submissions offline as well. Here you can add a grading category, and you can customize these. These are the predetermined categories. You can customize them in Gradebook, just like you could in the original view. So I'm just going to leave it as an assignment. You can manage the number of attempts that a student could have. You can do letter grade, points, or percentage. And then you can have a maximum score of whatever you wish. You can also add a time limit. So if you wanted to limit it, and then it's automatically default, that work is automatically saved and submitted when the time expires, or no, you could check students have extra time to work after the time limit expires. You can add in a rubric. So I've actually, I have one here that I've already created. So if you want to view it, you can just look at it and say, okay, this is the right rubric. And here it says you can't edit it because I've used it to grade one or more items, but I could create a copy. So if I wanted to do that, I would be able to use that. Okay, so I just added that. Goals and standards. This, I believe, really is more geared towards K-12, and you can kind of upload everything. I'm not sure that any departments are ready, but if you are, this is a fabulous feature because you can upload all your high-level mapping objectives from course to course. So that's a great feature. There's group assignments. Oh, but I've given it a time limit, which I didn't think I did, but apparently I did. So you can create groups, but not if it's a timed assessment. And then you can also enable your originality report. So that's safe assign, which I have enabled. So I can just click on that, check submissions, and then you can allow students to view based on their attempts, and you can exclude from the institution and global references database. All these options are the same that have been available to you in the original view as well. So when you're satisfied that you have everything you need, oh, and you can also type in the description, or if you had any special instructions for students, you could do that here in the description. And then I'm just going to done. Are there any questions or any need to stop at this point? We're good to go on. So I'm going to X that out. And then here you can see that it's hidden from students. So I'm going to use my drop down. And here I can make it visible to students. And you'll also notice this is where you set the conditional availability, which I tend to forget. So you have to remember that it's on the front view of the assignment, not built as you're building the assignment. So it's just something to keep in mind. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. I just wanted to go and create a test as well so that you can see how that works. So since I want to keep it in assessment and grading, I want them to do the assignment, and then I want them to do the test. So now I'm going to use this plus, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create. And I'm going to go down to assessment. When I open assessment up, you can see there's test or assignment. So we previously created an assignment. This time I'm going to go and I'm going to create a test. So it gives me it's the exact same look. Everything is the same. You even have safe assign, you have the due date. If I click the plus here, you can see that I can add in essay questions, fill in the blank, matching, multiple choice. I can also reuse questions. So that's really handy. And so if I just want to just quickly use, and you can copy the questions. And now the questions have been reused, so I don't have to keep rewriting things. So that's really convenient. Again, you can go ahead and set the due dates. The grading category is a test. And again, you do have the option, so if you want to call it a quiz or you have another name for it, you can go ahead and do that in the gradebook. Points, maximum score. I think it's interesting that you can't currently add a rubric to an assessment of questions. I'll have to show you how to build another one in another area, which we'll do. I'm just going to hit done on that. And then we're good to go. Again, we want to make it visible to students. And I'm going to go back into this assignment here. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to create a new assignment. Now, I'm going to create another assignment. And remember, you rename the assignment here. Assignment now. And upload. Do it from Google Drive. Perfect. So here we're going to go, and I'm going to add the grading rubric. And I know I had attached this one the last time, but you can't import a rubric, but you can create one. And it's the exact same thing as it was in the original. So you could give it your name. And then all of this is just modifiable. So probably the easiest way to do this is if you have a rubric handy side by side, and then you just simply copy all the information. So you hit edit, and then you can adjust this. One, and then you have the ability to edit this. And you can type in your description. This will take me forever if I cut and paste. So I'm just going to show you how you can do it. And then you have to adjust all of these different things. If you didn't want so many criteria, you simply just hit the trash and it'll get rid of that column or that row. So that's how you create a rubric. And then once you create this rubric, it stays in the system and you can use it across your courses. You can make that copy, you can make adjustments. So really it's, it's a little bit of work up front, but it's worth it once you get it done. So that's how you create a rubric. The other thing that is important to show you is at the front of the assignment. And what I mean by the front of the assignment, so I'm on my course content page. I'm not building anything right now. I just want to take a look at, say, assignment 1 and see how students are doing with that. If I go over here, I have the 3 dots, and if I click on them, I can see student activity. So this will give me a snapshot of how students are doing with this. Okay, so you can see it's unopened by all 6 people in the course. So this gives you a snapshot of who's doing what. It's really a fantastic area. Let's see if I can go. I thought I had uploaded another assignment. This one. Oh, and this one, so I can view the analytics. So this was a group assignment. So here I can click in and see the details of group 1. I also have the ability, with the 3 dots here, to message all 3 non-participants. If I click on a particular student, I have the ability just to send a message to that particular student. So it's kind of just a way to manage, check in on students, see who might need a little nudge or push or how things are going. So the analytic feature is great. Just remember it's on the front end of the assignment. You're able to click on it and view the analytics. So now what I'd like to do is go over to the grade book. And if I'm going too fast or if I need to stop, Sai or Karen, if you can just put your mic on and give me an okay, because I just didn't detach my panel, so I'm not watching the chat at all. So I'm going to scroll over to my grade book. It's here. And you can see I have a couple of different views. So this gives me, according to the assignment, if I click here, right next to it, the grid view, that gives me by the student. And then the assignments are going across. Next to that, I have the ability to download my gradebook. You actually click on that. So let's see. So you can do full gradebook. You can just select columns, or you can do a CSV in Excel. And then you can just hit download. So that's a great feature that just came in very recently. So that's excellent. And next to that, you have your settings. So here's where you can see your current grading schema is a letter grade. So you have the ability to adjust all of these things. And this is where you can add in your new category. So these are the standard ones, but if you want to do it by assignment 1, assignment 2, or if you call it a blog or whatever, you can customize by adding a new category. I would just suggest adding the new categories prior to setting up your assignments and assessments. That way there, as you're setting up your assignment or assessment, and there's that drop down, you'll have your new category in there so you can assign it right away. So definitely come here first and add in your new categories, and then go and create your assignments. It will just make things easier. Here's rubric. So this is a central place. You can create all your rubrics here first and then just attach it to the assignment. Or you can go to the assignment and attach it or build the rubric right there. Either way, that works. And then add overall grade notifications. So those are your choices under gradebook settings here. I'm going to go back to the other view. If you needed to add in something, you have a new assignment, all you simply have to do is click the plus wherever you want it. You can add any item, and you can also add a special calculation. So that's the area to do that after the fact. When I set up my course and I'm tying in and putting it to a gradebook, it's automatically being built here. But if you have to add in something mid-semester, you could simply do it with the plus. So this gives me a quick snapshot. You can see of what I have to grade. So here I have one to grade. Let's just take a look at that. Okay. And if I click on that student, I can see the answer. This is my answer. It was short and sweet. But it shows me the originality report. It's low risk. Here, you have the ability to just put in a grade. Next to that, you'll see a plus and then the 3 dots. So you can see the originality report there. If you've already provided feedback, let's say it's something with 2 attempts, you have the ability to edit that feedback. And now for the plus, that's actually where you add your feedback. So here you have a rich text editor. And this is the fantastic feature. So you can actually insert a recording. So here you can turn your camera on, you can turn your camera off. It doesn't matter. You just simply click on that. And I'm assuming you can see all of this. And you're ready to record. And you'll see at the bottom here the video is turned off. But I could enable the video, and you could give your students face-to-face feedback that way. So that's a really neat feature. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And let's see. Here's one other thing to grade. I just want to see if that looks anything different or anything new to show you. Oh, yes. So here's another submission, and this one is actually attached to a rubric, and that's what this, I'm not sure what it is. It's like a grid with a something. But when I click on that, it actually opens up the rubric that I created, and I can go ahead and grade accordingly. So I can read what the student submitted right here, and I can go ahead and say, yes, that was excellent, that was whatever. And then here's all my critical elements. So I can open up the next critical element, and then I can simply select a value and grade the student right here accordingly. Then provide my feedback and my voice recording or what have you. All right, and that is everything that I had to show you. I know we still have a little bit of time left. Not much, but maybe 5 minutes or so. So I'd like to, what would folks like to see again or was not clear? You could put it in the chat. Or you could just turn your mic on. We're a small group. I think it would be okay to turn it on and just ask the question. Or Cy and Karen, do you have anything to add?
Hi, Janet, it's Deborah. I have a quick question. I'm wondering how you set up a session like this for when classes are canceled or something, you know, due to weather.
Oh, sure. So what you would want to do is, let's see, I'm going to go to back to the course, so you can see my screen right now. Oops, clicked out too far. Okay, so I'm going to go in my course. And right here where it says course room, if I click on the 3 icons, I can edit my settings. And you can see this is the session that we're in right now. But I can go ahead and, as I mentioned, you can leave your course room unlocked, but you can also just hit create session. And then you can just go ahead and create test class. It automatically creates your access for you. You can put your start date and your end date. Put it there. 2:40 to 3:40, you can repeat the session. If I open up the session settings, here you can allow for recording downloads. So it's important to remember to check that if you want students to be able to download it. Otherwise, they could just come back to your course room and access the link at any time. Also, as students are coming in, you're able to allow them to be the guest role, or you can have everyone be presenters or moderators, depending on what you want to do and how big or small the groups are. The other thing you can do is you can also create breakout groups, but I believe that must be once the session is started. Yes, that's once the session is started. Did that answer your questions?
Absolutely, that was great.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? Nancy, I see your comment that the session is going great, but it does require good internet. Absolutely, as a best practice, you'd want to be hardwired in. If you can't be, then you're hoping to have really good Wi-Fi. Absolutely. Let's see, I don't have an option under my course to create a session. So you're in the production environment looking at your courses, and when you click on the 3 dots and you get to your collaborate session, you don't have the ability to create a session?
Actually, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so where I am, Janet, is on the screen where it shows my class. And on the left, it says details and actions. On the right, it says course content.
Yep. So what you want to do is can you go to edit settings? You click on the 3 dots near course room. If you look at my screen, on the screen, you should see it says edit settings.
I don't have a course room. That's the issue.
Oh, you don't have a course room.
No. So I have all of the other options you have, but course room is not listed.
Okay, that's going to be maybe side. Can you weigh in on that one? That I'm not sure.
Thanks.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
Yeah, there must be something. Deb, do you have that ability?
I'm not sure because I don't have that page up. I've just been paying attention to the session, so I'll check. I know I didn't when I logged in earlier today, but I think that's because I was only getting the old view. The original.
Oh, gosh. It should be an original view as well, so, All right, are there any other questions, or we can take these few specific ones offline? If no one has any other questions, then I guess we'll end the session. All right, well, thank you everyone for attending, and I will leave it open because I can see the chat still going on. But thank you, and you'll have access to the recording. Have a great day.